All right, everybody. It's PR Corey back again. I got some work that I was doing. I know I've been saying for a long time that these Nazca lines that you see on the screen right there, as far as the lineup of them and everything, they line up right on the center point and everything. And I was doing some debunking of my own work, and I came to some conclusions about something. So I was going to broadcast this live to everybody as I work on this so that y'all can see this. So I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to show you. Now, right here in the center, as y'all know, and this shouldn't be a long video either, but right here in the center, as y'all know, you got 5 and 4, which are in the center. 5 and 4, 5 and 4, 5 and 4, 5 and 4. All line up in the center, or are supposed to, at least within my work, like you see on the screen right there. So you got 5 and 4 all located and locale through the center. But my whole point beyond my work and saying and showing y'all and saying over and over again that it lines up right on point. And if I would have added at least one more square, it would have threw everything off. If I take the number 0 and start up here, because that's what's going on with my stuff, I think that a lot of y'all don't witness that and don't realize what's going on with it. On the screen right there, what you see, and I'm going to bring it back up. What you see right there, you're looking at what you see on my paper right here and what you see right there on the screen are two exact same things. Only difference is if I turn it 45 degrees, the black that you see going up straight like that and going down like this, you can see 4 and 5 right here, and you can see it going that way. So at the end of the day, this dot that you see right here, and I'm going to highlight this again, this dot that you see right here, or really not even a dot, it's as you know, a square. If you zoomed in on it, it's really this square right here in the center. So it's the same thing that's being zoomed into from 4 different corners, just like, the directions of the earth. So at the end of the day, what you have right here is if you put 0 right here and start to count consecutively from up there, you're going to end up with 6 right here in the center. Why is there X's right here just like there are within the Nazca lines? Behind all of my work, what I do is draw a center line through the center because everything is divided up into halves and quarters. So I draw a center line through the center of all of my work. There's a center line that goes all the way up through the center, and a center line that goes all the way through down like this. That's why you see this line right here. So the fact is, with these numbers, when you end up with 6 right here, and the whole thing is, this is not even a 45-degree angle. I mean, this is a 45-degree angle, but the numbers don't come out to be 45 at the terminal points like the crystals. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you would have 7 right here, 8, and it would end up at 13 over here on this side. So 13 would be over here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So you end up with 13 over here. There's no 45, no 4 and 5, besides right here, of course, which they always touch, but at the end of the day, it's not halving. So right here, you have this point right here, which is on the Nazca lines. The square is made at the 7 and 2 point. You come out here to this extension because within my work, you start at 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 right here. 1 and 8 right there. So you're drawing a line literally right here in my stuff from 1 to 8. So that's just right there on that end, just to show y'all the the fact that if you take the numbers and add even one more row for there to be bifurcation / splitting of any sort, and it come out even, see this line right here, you have to follow the center line, and symmetry is key. As to one side, so to the other side, just like as above and so below. So at the end of the day, and we really witness more exact opposite of as to left, so to the right, than as above, so below. What's above usually don't be exactly like what's below, but as to the left and so to the right, you usually got a mirror. Both of them look exactly the same for the most part, almost, with mirror differences. So you end up here with this. Before there to be any type of cloning slash bifurcation, branching of any sort, which is what fractals have to do with, you would have to come up to this line. Everything has to line up on the base, and therefore another line has to be drawn up through here to this point. So you would draw a line from right here to right here in order for it to line up on the center point. This is coming from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1. 3 and 1, which have no type of dealings with one another. They have no type of energy, no type of dealings with one another at all. And therefore, the center would be right here, opposed to right here. If I would have added even one more, adding one more number would have added this and put this right here in this, so it wouldn't line up and be in the center. So the fact is, when you look at this lined up right here, if I tilt that like that, what you're really looking at is the circle of the numbers in a quadruple, like in a 4 pattern, rotated. So to this point, what you witnessing, upon starting from 0, is a complete circuit of the numbers, of all of the real numbers. 0, 1, 2. At 2, that's where you make your turn. 7 and 2 is where you make your square. It's where the squaring of the circle happens. That's why when I showed my other discovery with the dividing of a circle, when you divide it into twos over and over again, everything comes out to be, 11 on one side and 0.25 on the other side. 0.25 is 1/4 of 100. 1/4, 1 plus 4 equals 5. 11 on one side, 25 on the other side. That's 2, because 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then 7 on the other side. 25, 2 plus 5 equals 7. Of the side of what? The decimal point. What's the decimal point within my work? The decimal point within my work is the center area, and 4.5, like I've always said, the center. So 4.5 is the center and would be right here in the center and would line up right with this. It's the polarization. 4.5, when people say that the center doesn't have a pole, that's really what my work ties into. 4.5 is the polar opposite of the center. You got a negative, which is down here, and a positive terminal points. It's just like a crystal. This is the science of a crystal. This is not even fake science at all. I've been looking into crystals and everything and studying them pretty heavy actually. So especially quartz and stuff like that. So therefore, when you do this right here specifically, you end up and go follow this route, which is what it is. Mind you, that's exactly what you see on this right here. Dang it. That's what you see right here on this right here, especially once I turn it just 45 degrees like that. That's exactly what you see. So it's making a complete circuit. This is the squaring of the circle. That's why I've been saying that in the center of this work, I showed as well that you get the Mason. This, I can't really show it right now because I don't have enough descriptive detail on the paper. But you end up seeing another Masonic symbol that's within the center of my work that you can't see. It's the 32nd degree Teutonic cross is what it's, and it's spelled TEUTONIC cross. So you end up with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it comes right back to the circle, which is the center point, which is exact, and that's all my work is. So when you zoom out, which is the turning of the, when you look at a Mandelbrot set, it has to turn. The spiral has to turn. That's why my work, when you turn it 45 degrees, you're zooming out. So you're always going to be looking at the same thing. That's what's so dope about it. If I would have added, like I'm showing, just one more number, it would have, the numbers would not add up to be 45. 4 and 5 would not be in the center. Everything is at a 45-degree angle. So messing that up screws it all up. That's why I'm showing that 45 is a very special, I mean, extremely special combination of numbers, pairing of numbers. So upon this, if you continue your line on this way, and this is stuff that I had to realize later within my work, as I continued to work, this stuff was all built and came to realization and revealed to me. This is not something that I had to sit up and think about this and do this first. That's why I'm saying that I'm debunking myself right now, or showing, not, I'm not even really debunking myself like that. I'm sitting up here experimenting in front of y'all and showing y'all the process that I go through in my mind in front of y'all as I debunk. So I haven't even, I could come across something right now and it could debunk me. You know what I mean? But I'm very confident behind what I've been doing and know that it's the truth because I've already done this in my mind. I'm just doing it on the paper in front of y'all for y'all to see so that you can see that I'm not just talking. So the fact is, you end up with 9 right here. All of these numbers are the base numbers, base 10. Why is it called base 10? Nobody has ever really, that's not even a question that's asked. But I have in my work answers that. At the base, what do you have with a triangle? You have a height, you have a width, and you have a base. So this is geometry, the literal terms, literal science. I've already talked about how it ties into physics and the inverse square law with the simple 45-degree angle. The fact is, with these because numbers, that's why everything is so important with everything is based off of numbers. You cannot, everything is a number of something. When you, it just take you to realize it, man. But at the end of the day, once I'm keeping this way because I know that y'all have to. So 6 would be right here, and within, as you continue and turn this, everything, as you realize, they say 3 6. So if people subscribe to the 3 6 9 stuff, that's within my work. I'm showing people, people can't say that, I just drove away from that. Even 3 6 9 is prevalent within my work. You have to have the eye, and it's right there for anybody to see. 3 and 6 is always polar opposite within my work. Always. They always touch and are right. So 6 would be right here. 3, that 3 would be over here on this side. It's all a continuous, perfectly symmetrical, reciprocating energy pattern. That's exactly what it is. So it's no game behind it. That's why stuff is happening in the sky. Because God, I feel strongly, whatever power rules this earth, is communicating you on point. Now 7 is across from 2, and as you, everything would be opposite. 8 would be up here. I'm used to turning it and making it. Let me zoom this in for y'all too, because y'all probably can't even see. But I'm used to turning this right here, like this right here, and actually, drawing up this way. But I'm just making it this way for y'all to see, and all of the numbers to stay the same way. So now I'm getting confused with myself. And 9 would be right here. So 0 would by default have to be right here. And you're just making a square. It makes a perfect square, a literal perfect square. And I mentioned square in the circle. Well, as you look at the Nazca lines right there that I just had up, if you make a circle, which is what they have, as you trace the circle that's on the Nazca lines, actually, it's directly going through the 6 and the 3 on my work. Like, and that's not just like a coincidence. You can't, like I'm saying, I can't stress it enough that I can't fake nothing like this. I don't even know where to start to fake nothing like this, but all of this information just coming in as one. As you can see, what if you pay attention to my cursor here, right here, you can see the circle and you see 3 and 6, just like I have right here. Let me make sure y'all can still see. Okay, yeah, I can still see that. So like you can see, 3 and 6 is right here. This is a miniature version of exactly what you see on the screen. Nothing has changed at all. 3 and 6 make a complete circuit, just like you see right here. 3 and 6 make a complete circuit. It's not the only circle for a reason. All of the pixelization, when you talk about 720 pixels, that's within my work. All of this pixels, when you zoom into them, it's always the same thing, and they make up one huge picture. Pixels, pix, 720, the squaring of the circle. That's why I said what I said with my other discovery as far as this, when you do the 4.5, because the 2 and the 7 and 4 and 5, they have a huge relation. All of these numbers have a relation. That's why I said that my work don't even just go into just the 4 and the 5. I'm sitting up here talking about 2 and 7. It takes somebody to really listen unbiasedly and realize that this shit is just the truth, man. And the fact is, when you talk about square in the circle, that's why this circle stops right here. It stops right there for a reason. And the reason why is exactly what I told y'all and showed y'all with dividing over and over again. If I have to show any type of proof as far as a calculator, I will real quick when you do, because I know a lot of people might not get what I say in the future. But right here, hopefully y'all can see, but you got 0 right there. And if I take 360 and divide it by 2, you end up with 180. 1 plus 8 plus 0 equals 9. Now divided by another 2, 90, which is 9. Divided by another 2, 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. That's the magic number. Divided by 2 again, 22.5. What do you have? You have a decimal right here. That's what I just told y'all. This right here. I remember when I first started my work and got on people's panels, I said the main mystery is the decimal right here, because that's really the question about the free energy. That's the same question behind the decimal slash the black hole. All of this stuff that people, it all is coded within. It's the same thing within the numbers for a reason, because it's the ultimate microcosm. See, with cells and stuff like that, cells, plant cells, anything that's micro. What people ain't realizing is that the reason why I say the numbers is the ultimate microcosm is because how can you have all of those different cells, the millions or whatever number of cells it is being generated within any living human being or organism, if you don't have a number, a replication, a number? You have to comprehend what I'm saying. If you just have just one cell, that cell is one itself. Cells replicate to make more than one. Therefore, the fact is, if cells could not make a number or replicate, replication is you have to count something in order. It's a form of numbering. Replication, doubling. It's a form of multiplication slash, however you want to look at it, addition, increasing in numbers. If you don't have that, if the essence of replication slash increasing in numbers didn't exist, how would you have these living organisms if nothing could reproduce? Numbers are really the language of reproduction. That's a great, and I just came to the terms and just said that just came to the dome. Numbers are a communication of reproduction in a great manner. That's a great way to sum what this is. So you end up with 3 and then 4. 4 and 5 is always in the center. 4 plus 5 equals 9. That's basic knowledge. Everybody should get that by now. This is the flat earth map and everything. That's why I call these black center points that I'm making right here, I call these rivets. Not rivers, but I call them rivets. A lot of stuff I just name because it just comes to name, man. I call this the grand checks. I literally got my own language, and I don't talk it or because I ain't got nobody to talk it to in it but I literally do, bro. I think so deep and for myself, bro, to where people really wouldn't comprehend. Y'all get light work, man. Y'all really get light work. Y'all ain't seen the half, man. I got brand new stuff that I ain't even showed nobody, bro. That's why I be away in as well because I got this stuff popping with this. I'm really, really out here working, man. I ain't even got to be out here like that. So what you see right here is that's why I said within my work, it's not me just putting the X right there just to match theirs. Before I even saw the Nazca lines, shout out to Chris, he just popped up. He live right now. So as I go off, y'all can go and watch him, Chris Cyphers TSL. Right here, you will have a square. As you can see, it's another square right here in the center. And then within my work, with the with detail and everything, this is where when you looking at my work, it makes another 8-pointed star. The 8-pointed star, and if you add a center point it emerges from, is really the 9. That's why as well, the way that we count, the way that we voice and verbalize our numbers and things like that, that type of stuff matters because we start from counting from the number 1 quite often, most of us, and I've voiced in the past why we don't start with 1. It's supposed to start from 0 for a reason, because if I started with just 1, like I said, if I added or if I subtracted one freaking box, none of this would add up and be so on point with those Nazca lines like that. If I subtracted one box, like I said, right here is where the bifurcation slash the splitting starts. Besides the, if I had 1, 2, 3, if I had 1, 2, 3, I could have put another box right here. I could have put another box right here and got another line to come through to create a square right here. There would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And see how I came back to the 4 and polarized right there? See that 4 and 5? That's another 1. 0, 1. 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you move that right there, 5 would be right there. 0 would be right here. 4 would be right here. 1 would be right here. 3 would be right here. And 2 would be right here. So within these, that's another thing I just showed right here within itself. It would be another 4 and 5 essence. If you just stuck, I'm talking about pure bifurcation, being able to clone, splitting, like the human genome, like we witness in nature, just like the trees, fractals, lightning, all of this different stuff that breaks off into tubes and stuff like that. This is right here. And if like I showed up here, so if you would have, it wouldn't line up right there on point because that's not all the numbers. It's not encompassing all of the numbers. When you grow marijuana, like I showed you, the different polygon shapes of 3, 5, 7, and 9 all are encoded within the geometry, the outline of the leaves and the points themselves. This all has to do with the when plants grow upward, they have to grow upward against the force of what we call gravity. Some of us call that. But if I would have added just one more number, taken away just one more number, like you see here, you would end up with your signs completely messed up and off. Nothing adds up. Nothing is on point. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not just up here just talking just to talk and just say what I'm saying. It's real work that goes behind this, man. Real thought, and nothing is luck. This is something that's naturally instilled within me, and I feel like what happened in that sky was a confirmation and showing me, hey, ain't nobody else doing it. Then nobody else on this earth is doing what PR Corey is doing. I'm a unique individual, bro, and that's why I be tripping and stressing like I do on how people act with me, because I see and have seen so many people blow up and become big off of what they do. What I do it for and stuff like that. That's I've already explained what I do it for, but that ain't got you know people will justify and shout people out that really shouldn't even be shouted out. What are they doing good? What is they doing to help people? What knowledge is they offering? But then I come along. Nobody in history has ever done this. Nobody wants to show the same tenacity towards what I do as they do with the rap artist who has no good intent, but and that's why I trip. But God got me, man, and that's what I be showing and proving y'all. So right here at these center points, as you realize, at these center points, everything is symmetrical anyway. And if I kept on dividing, that was the whole point of this. I get off track, divided by 2. 11.25. This is where I was saying 2 is on this side, 7 is on this side. What is it centered by? A point, a center point, which is just like this. 2 is on this, if I was on, well, it's right here, the polar opposite at the top. 2 is on this side, just like right here. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 5 equals 7. It's not hard, y'all. 2 is on this side, 7 is on this side. The center is in the center. 4.5 points, halfway point. It's not hard. Divided by 2. 5.625. The point is the last 2 digits is always 25 for a reason. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 5 plus 6 equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So you got 11 on this side, 2 on, 7 right here. And you got the point which has moved over because as we continue to divide and everything, it's common sense that the decimal point continues to move. It can't just stay right here in the center. But the base of where everything is divided up into, if you look at even a compass, the main sections of a compass, as far as, the cardinal directions, the intermediate directions, and I forgot the last ones, but that's all base 11.25 division. That's basic 11 point, it's all of them. It's divided into 11.25 degree sectors. But the same continues as far as the, regardless of the decimal moving as it's supposed to with common sense. 25 is the last 2 digits no matter what. So we're going to divide it by 2 again to test the science. 25 once again. 8 plus 1 equals 9. 9 plus 2 equals 11. It's not hard. 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Divided by 2 again. 25 is the last 2 digits. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 10 plus 1 equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 2, 5, 7. Point. Center. It's not hard. It ain't hard at all. This is the squaring of the circle from a science that no Mason, nobody on earth has ever showed. Nobody. Real talk. This is the science of squaring this at the look with the 0, like I showed y'all with the planets and stuff, like even with the planets. Like I said, what would be numbers? What would be 0? The sun, correct? Okay, so what is a 0? 0 is synonymous to the whole of something. A 0, a whole, an encompassed circle, a circle, a O, 360, 360. So 360 has degrees. A circle has to deal with degrees, just like the sun has degrees. That's why you see with the Freemasonic symbolism, you see degrees. Their stuff is broken up into degrees. So 0 is based on the concept of the degrees. The 0 and the circle, all of that ties in together. Right here, as you can see, it's making a perfect square, just like my work, man. Because that's what it is. It makes a perfect square, and you will have the same exact thing replicate and continue over onto this side. I messed something up. Yep, I sure did. There we go. And it's really easy and simple to comprehend. That's why it's so amazing of a discovery. So there you have right there, just like you see within my work, you got the circle would be made at the 7 and 2 right here. The circle is made at the 7 and 2. Now, as we talk about the 7 and 2, I did an overlay of the Nazca lines once again, just as what you see here on the screen. And if I could zoom in any more, it would benefit me a whole bunch, and you would be able to see the fact that if you look at these Nazca lines, one thing that hasn't really been talked about is you got the center star, which the center star, which is this one right here, the center star right here, and then you got the two on the other sides, as you can see. I have never talked about the two on the sides like that. I never have decrypted those because I that right there, it's been on a level that I ain't got to yet, or hadn't at that time. Turns out I take it by the shift of what I was doing. If I could zoom in, God knows, it would be easy to see. But if you follow my cursor right here at the very top, I might have to screenshot this and send it to the drive real quick just to really, highlight what I'm saying. But the points right here on this circle and then the points right here, basically the outside, the outer circle, just like you see the outer circle right here on this geoglyph right here, the center big one, like we just talked about, the 7 and 2, which is the outer circle, the terminal circle. It stops at 7 and 2, runs through every last digit. As you look at it, it's going through 7 and 2 on the 7 and 2. It's going through, the circle is going through 7 and 2. If it wasn't even meant to be, it would be going through the 360, just like this one went through the center on the 3 and 6. It went right through the center. How come it didn't do the same with the 7 and 2? Because this is meant to be, and I got this on point. How is that further confirmed? By the fact of what I'm saying, the outer circle on this geoglyph right here, for one of the other two that I was talking about, I hadn't decrypted yet. Upon the overlay, I looked at it, and the dots on the outer line, on the outermost line, are stopping on a 7 and 2, specifically on number 9 and number 3 on my work. This is a map of some extreme sort. And I've been telling people that for the longest. It's not just this. This right here is no game, man. This right here is no game. You got the rays coming from the center. That's why I put my eye right there too, because the iris, the pupil of my eye, you know, the rays would be coming from that, and I haven't even done the detail on my eye to make it look photorealistic just yet. But that's part of why core eye, the center eye. I'm the only person that been able to see it. But just because I'm the only a lot of people say, you can make up what you want in your mind for stuff to mean stuff. That ain't what's going down with me. Other people can do that and speculate on stuff. When I'm showing y'all what's going on in the sky, man, this is no joke, bro. Like, I'm not just on here just saying this stuff just to say this. This is me. This is no ego or nothing. This stuff really blows my mind, and I be really shook. And that's why I come on here and show y'all, because I be literally waiting on somebody to debunk me, man, and waiting on somebody to call me crazy, point out where I'm crazy with a logical, and with logical conclusions, and I will listen. But when you see something like this, that's why I'm saying, bro, this shit is it's no coincidence. If you believe in all of the sacred geometry, all of the syncretism in the world, man, there's no way in the world you can't see what PR Corey been saying, bro. It's no way. It don't cut off with me. It doesn't stop with me. And that's just a fact. 4 and 5 looks just like Jupiter and Saturn. Why am I bringing this up now? Because I'm finna to send something else to my drive, because I was looking into the Nazca lines and this geoglyph that you see right here. And let me send this, through. And what I was realizing was the fact that some people have done some assumptions on the magic squares. Well, it turns out that that's what my work goes into as far as numbering and magic squares. I don't like to call what I'm doing a magic square because it's on another level, and it broke the paradigm of typical magic squares. It went to another level with it. And I'm not just saying that. I'm like, literally, I can't. I'm going to literally show right here, right now, why I don't subscribe to what they did. But I love the work, though. I love seeing other people trying and coming to great conclusions. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. not trying to be too long. I'm sending it right now as we speak. Just a second. Let me check the comment section as I do wait. 3 people still waiting. All right, cool. Send this on through. See if it went through. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Come on, man. All right, now what you see right here is a magic square, 8x8 magic square. Okay, come on, thing. All right, now what you see right here, and you can see 44 and 45 are in the center, almost of this magic square that they have right here. The thing is with this, where does their work specifically, like that's what I'm saying. And I'm not just debunking there. This is the way that I would want people to come at my work. If I left a hole there, you know, if I left a hole enough and I was false, I would want people to come at my work in this respect, you know, real type of constructive criticism type of manner. Like I'm doing here. Not to be like me, but just because this is right. This is just the right way to do things. From a logical perspective, I'm not denouncing this. It's amazing, you know, just looking, but you can make magic squares of different grids, different sizes. Okay. So that's one hole. You can make different magic squares of different sizes. With this 0 through 9 thing I just showed y'all, you can't do that. I just proved that you cannot do this with any other number setup, period. If I would have added one number to the matrix or took away one number from the matrix, it would have screwed everything up and nothing would line up on center point. Nothing. So the fact is, the other thing that I question is the circles. What I see right here with the circles, it's not showing any signs of how or why these circles would be put right here through these numbers. Furthermore, it's not just a line, it's actual dots. Like the rocks symbolize like certain points. They put the rocks in points for certain reasons. So therefore, this work right here with the magic square wouldn't even answer that question. So it would not answer the question of why the rock. My stuff literally goes into detail. It's like breaking down a communication, a language from some aliens or something. Literally, that's what my work is like. This right here is just taking a magic square, overlaying it, and just leaving it as is, and pretty much assuming from that point that this is what it means. It ties into it in a way, because the fact is with these magic squares, guess what? It's called this geoglyph that I've been showing y'all with the Nazca lines is called an estrella. Estrella in Spanish translation equals star. So as far as what you're seeing right here, and then magic squares, they name the magic squares after the planets. You got the magic square of Jupiter, the magic square of Saturn, the magic square of the sun is what you're witnessing right here, the magic square of the moon. So what I'm showing y'all with my stuff, see, 45 ties into Saturn as far as the magic square. The basic numbers, it ties into Saturn, okay? That goes furthermore into what I'm showing y'all and telling y'all. What planet did we just have a conjunction with? Saturn. We just had a conjunction with Saturn. The number system, as far as I'm a matter of fact, because I don't want to just talk, man. I really want to show everything. I'm saying, okay, Saturn, magic, square. Okay. Save image. I'm downloading it now and sending it to my drive. for display. Y'all make sure, if you don't mind, hey, that's part of showing growth and growing. If you don't mind, make sure you remember to like the video. It's being polite and asking instead of going on a rant about, what I don't get. So you can't say a nigga ain't growing. So do remember, please, to like the video. And I'm not going to say it anymore. And that's not being ignorant by saying I'm saying I'm just not going to say it no more. I'm not bringing it up no more. Okay, now, it just went through. Now, mind you, these magic squares do not exist without the concept of what? A decimal system, because all of these numbers are still looping back at the 10 mark / after the 9. So that's something that people have to remember. If you add on even another that's what I'm showing people. This stuff ties into the actual number system that we use, because it's man, I'm here to tell you. Now, with the magic square, they call it magic for different reasons. I saw some woman say something on Instagram not too long ago on my pyramid page, and she said something about angels and demons and stuff like that, with intent and stuff like that. Um, to a degree, some of that stuff, I do concur with. She made some great points. But what I'm showing you right here, right now, as you can see, you got 15 coming out on this side. All of these add up to be 15. The rows add up to be 15. What's 15 times 3? 15 times 3 is 45. All of these numbers going to automatically by default add up to be 45 when you add up. And because the fact is, all numbers added up together, 0 through 9, add up to be 45. Well, with this 9 thing, this is a square. This is a square, okay? This is the first magic square that you can make with the numbers, okay? So 3 by 3, mind you, 33rd degree Freemason, stuff like, the typical redundant passed down stuff, regurgitated. A square is synonymous to a what? As far as 360 degrees, a circle. So when you're seeing this square, if you take out one simple square, do you have a complete circuit? No, you don't. It's broken. So therefore, you have to have the incorporation of all of these numbers at equal size. They all have an equal perimeter / area within them, perimeter and area within them, to create themselves to make a whole square. So this is a fractal right here. In a way, you can make a fractal code based off of this. And that's a fact. But the fact is, it's not showing or replicating anything within nature. The 45 degree, 4, 5, 6. 45 degree going right through it, right through the center. 4, 5, 6. It's a step. 45 degree, literally one line. So 15, 15, and 15 equals 45, okay? That's where I'm getting at. All of the numbers come out to be 45. And everybody should know that by now. But what you see right here, every time when you get to 10 right here, you're using a decimal system, because you got different counter systems that you can use. You can use hexadecimal, all of these different systems that people claim have great usage and stuff like that. Why aren't we applying them if they're such great use and stuff? I'm not saying that they're not, but they would be in more abundance. Excuse me. So that's my great point right there. You would have no type of science behind why that circle got put right there. Anybody with common sense knows how you create a circle from above, from the ground like that. And you just take a rope, extend it, have one person on one side, another person on another side, and you both go equal lengths around, and one person in the center as the pivot, and you pretty much just like a compass go around. That's why with that circle right there, that's why I say I'm the great architect of I have cracked the code, literally, of the great architect of the universe. And just by the fact that I don't have the numbers, like a lot of these people do. People sitting up here acting like I'm nothing, but really I'm something to really be amazed by. That's not me tooting my own horn. That's just at this point, bro. I'm amazed by my damn self. I'm just being real. I'm being real as heck, bro. I am amazed by my. I'm my number one fan and amazed by myself. Real freaking talk. I've never seen anybody do anything like an artist on this level. So those red points that I was pointing out up here on this circle on the outermost layer, they are landing on 7 and 2. 7 and 2 is, it seems to be it's like a cutoff point. Just like I in my previous work on the mother herb, that's the cutoff point. That's where the bifurcation starts. 7 and 2 is where you start to split off, literally, as far as the growth patterns of the marijuana. 7 and 2 is where the brain. I mean, you see it right here. You see that 1 and 8 is where it starts to expand from the 4 and 5, the center point. It grows from that center point, and then once it gets to 7 and 2, it splits off. The first splitting can be made at 2 and 7. 8 and 8, and then 1 and 1. Because 3, if you split it in half, is just gonna give you 6 again, and 6, if you split it in half, is just gonna give you 3 again. It's half of 6 is 3. And half of 3 is 1.5, which is 6. 1 plus 5 equals 6. Continue that, and they just gonna continue polar and back and forth, just like the sun and moon, which is what the Masonic square and compass is basically. As far as the compass, the 3, 6, and the 9. That's why I say with that, my stuff lines up exactly, and they have their compasses open to a 60°/69° opening for a reason. All of my stuff is on point, bro. See, I'm not on speculation and stuff. There's no speculation with my stuff. There's no Freemason that could debunk my stuff. That's why you don't see, if a Freemason feel like somebody out here putting out some false information about their stuff, they're gonna be on your ass. That's a fact. I don't care what nobody say. They will be on your ass. They will and try to make you look stupid as you want to be, and will do good at it because they smart. I give it to them. I give it to them. They are very, very intelligent. Not all of them. Just because you're a Mason don't make you smart. Because some of them is dumb just by the fact that they join something like that. But beyond that, the fact is, guys, this is just amazing, man. So PR Corey, you're going to hear me always. This is something man, it's going to the grave with me, man. I'm not playing about it. It's something you always, if you're tired of 4 and 5, I'm telling y'all, you can just unsubscribe because it's going to be here. That's what this channel is about. My discovery that I've made from it is the science of these numbers, because nobody else has done this. I'm bringing y'all real science and then decrypting something that nobody else on earth. Don't y'all know that they associate this with aliens? What's going on in the world right now? People talking about aliens and stuff. I saw an article. I'm not saying that I believe in it, but I'm telling y'all that I have had a dream. Hey, man, it's some stuff I just don't talk about, dude, because it's, people sit up and think, they can think what they want to, but it's just, I ain't got time for that energy, man. I don't. But what I am proving to y'all, man, is that I am something beyond what y'all viewing me as, man. I am. And I'm telling you right now, this lifetime is one thing. I'm telling y'all I'm somebody from the past, man. I realize maybe it's because maybe I get this communication because I realize something that y'all just don't. I'm on a level that y'all just ain't on yet, knowledge-wise. I don't express my every thought to y'all because I feel like a lot of y'all just, you don't get it. Y'all get on here just to argue, and with the question, everything, concept and everything, y'all take it to a whole nother level of where y'all just don't even accept the truth when it's in front of y'all face no more. When it's just a blatant, honest truth. I sit up and say 2 + 2 = 4, or 1 + 1 = 3. Here come this dumbass 1 + 1 = 2. Here come this dumbass over here talking about some 1 + 1 = 4 in this kind of way. It's, it's just, I'm talking about real hardcore, what I can prove, what's in front of me, science/math, proof, truth at the end of the day. And numbers don't lie. They don't lie. They ain't gonna lie, fam. Only the person who using them can lie and manipulate the numbers. But at the end of the day, what's gonna be is what's gonna be, and that's what I'm proving. Because if I would have added one more or taken away, it would have been short of this point right here. So therefore, the fact that I use 0 through 9 is communicating to you. Anybody with common sense can see it. This is basically a four-way circuit coming straight into the center. I got work where I had, matter of fact, I got a video, and this is stuff, like I say, I realize this stuff. I'm teaching myself literally. Excuse me. I'm literally teaching myself, man, because I came out with a video last year where I was talking about the degrees of a circle, because that's what it has to go into. Uh, Let me see. Golly, man, I did a lot of work, man, last year. I mean, it's a lot of videos, man. Damn. I'm gonna see if I can find the part. And, well, I ain't gonna even. That's number 9, of course, and I just said that 9 to 10. But basically, brought up within this video, I brought up within this video, that was me showing the decimal, that base in a base 20 system, 45 equals 25, and I'm 25. I'm from the 25th state, which is Arkansas. 25, 2 plus 5 equals 7. So that's the center point, halfway point, 4.5. So it makes a cross, a plus sign. 2 and 7, 4 and 5, and 0 and 9. All of them add up to be 9. So that's like the plus sign. Uh, and even on a bigger scale, just for the whole thing, you got, 7 and 2 is always going to be in the center. No matter what, 7 and 2 is always going to make a plus sign. But I was saying within this video, I was bringing this up because what I said within the video, I brought up the fact that that's why we call it base, with the explaining the degrees and why we stop at 360. Because see, people be talking about and questioning why we stop at 360 degrees in a circle. Well, first you have to comprehend and answer the question. You can't answer that question until you comprehend why we stop counting at 9. If no one can answer why we stop counting at 9, you can't get into the 360 degree, because it's 3 plus 6 and 0 is 9. And the whole circular system, as far as dividing it, it all comes down to 9. The cardinal directions, all of that stuff comes down to 3, 6, and 9 at the end of the day. What's omitted and what's been secretive with the circle is 4 and 5, because people just ain't never saw that. They've never saw that. And now here I am pointing it out to y'all, the first in history. And here you go. It's the perfect thing, man. That's what you see there. It's a perfect circle. This is the center point of my work. And that's why you see my eye right there, because if you take every last one of these, I could take all of these numbers and add them together. Common sense is if everything across from each other add up to be 9, everything in the end gonna be 9. So technically 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 times 5 equals 45. 45 basically times 4. And you know what you get, 180. So at the end of the day, and 18, that goes back into the base 20 system. When you take the base 20 system, that's what this basically is. It's negative and positive. So the mind, that's why my stuff lines up with the Mayan stuff so much, because it's negative and positive. And when you account for all of those, you end up with 20 characters, 20 spaces that you got. I don't just be up here talking just to sound smart. I talk like I do. I talk clear when I want to, because I want people to comprehend my point. I know that how accents can fuck with some people, and I try to even not. That's probably the first time I cussed in this video. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to improve on all things, and not stay stagnant. And basically, what you see right here, man, is what else can I say at this point? It's the truth, man. It's the truth. because I just basically I hadn't drawn this out or anything. I just had it in my mind and by my common sense, because I do most of my work in my mind before I put it on paper. Just like the 4.5 that had been stored up in here, my mind like a huge ass computer. I had that shit stored. Like, you know how people got stuff saved in the vault as far as rappers. I had that saved in my vault for the longest, man. I just was waiting on the perfect opportunity. I was on the panel last last year slash 2.5, not 2.5, but 2 years ago, no more than a year and a half to 2 years ago, on the panel. They got to talking about numbers and stuff like that. I saw my shot, and therefore I showed people what the truth was. You know, because really everybody was talking about zero and how everything started from zero, but people wasn't talking about the decimal point. What people was saying at that point, as far as in this community, was talking about deca. I mean, 10 and how you shouldn't say 10 and stuff like that, and saying that say, all of the spookism and stuff. And I'm just showing y'all from what people saying with the Satan and 10 and stuff like that, bro. People are really spooked and stuff, off of certain stuff, and we just got to really drop certain ideologies because you can't get around this. What other number system can you freaking do this with? What other fractal code? See, if I took hexagons, yes, I can make a fractal system out of hexagons, but the hexagons aren't going to go at 45 degrees. Nor is the numbers, if I stopped them, if I went through them 0 through 9, it ain't going to make a 4.5 degree point. A 45 degree point is not going to do it. That's why I got on people's panel and I said, you can't do this with any other, because you cannot. You can't. Yes, you can zoom in on anything in the world. Everything in life is zoomed. When you walk into a room, you zooming into it. Everything is based on zooming. But the fact of this right here, the architect, everything being on a grid, man, it's just something else, man. It's crazy. Hearing people say certain stuff, but they don't really be then studied on it like that, real heavy on it, or they ain't even. This is something brand new to the world. So when people talk about why we stop at 9, you can't talk about it without this. You can't, without my stuff, without my work. Literally, you cannot even talk about or answer that question without my work. The only other way that you could is possibly through Marco Rhoda's work, because, and you using his work, not to denote it or anything, is using his work is not going to be as well versed as far as this right here, because his stuff doesn't account for frequency. I proved that in the past as well. At the end of the day, if you take a circle like this right here, it's not accounted for frequency, and you don't witness this anywhere in nature. Where do you see God literally take out a circle like this and put numbers around the circle? Where do you see God take blocks like this and put numbers inside of a block? You might not see God put numbers inside of a block, but what you do see in nature is you see the blocks stacked exactly. Look at a diamond. Research a diamond crystal. That's your homework. Research diamond crystals. Research into crystals, period, and look at how they're crystals and fractals. They're built off of fractals. Diamonds are specifically built just like this. I'm from the Diamond State, Arkansas. That's our state gem. Everything literally that I'm sure it's this my purpose in life. Just because you might not really be in sync with yours, man, that don't mean that I'm tripping on mine, man. And you shouldn't hate on me just because I'm in sync with mine either. You could do the same with yourself, because it's something out here possibly waiting on other people to discover. But if you focus, too much on the wrong stuff, you won't get it. I'm not saying that I got the end all be all as far as everything in the world, but this this is something that ties into everything living. Literally everything. Crystals and stuff is that's the that's, man, come on now. So at the end of the day, you got a circle that would be right there, and you don't witness anything in nature. It's not accounting for frequency. You can just put 9 up here. It's not no signs, and 1, and then you got a crooked sign that would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And, 7 and 2 be right across from each other, and then you end up with 1. This doesn't happen in nature, man. I just messed it up. Like I done did this so many. I ain't used to doing this circle thing no more. And you end up with that 369. So you end up with that, but that's the same exact thing that I got right here. Zero, zero, and nine. 0 point is the 9 point. That's what people ain't getting. So 0 point. If somebody said 9 point, it's the same exact thing. See that 5 point star right there? If you take that line right there from the 7 to 2, you got that right there. And if I took this right here to the 1, took this one to the 3, you end up with a 5 point star, a perfect 5 point star, darn near, drawn from center point. That's something I just realized. So, uh, five, one, especially, hold on. So, see, this is what I be saying. I be realizing shit when I get to playing with this stuff, man. But yeah, pretty much that nine is right there. Nine is right there. But this right here, you find circles in nature, but you're not going to find the replication, any type of numbers around them. What you will find in nature is if I took this right here, you can't tell me you won't find this in nature. Because guess what? If you zoom in on a diamond crystal, that's exactly what it looked like. The fractals of this is exactly what it looks like. It's a pyramid. Furthermore, my stuff, as far as an hourglass, when you look at an hourglass, the science of the hourglass is exactly what my stuff is. The hourglass is also a Masonic symbol, very prevalent. So this right here that you see, yeah, you could probably start to say you won't find those number things in there, but you will find something with this pattern. I mean, it don't even have to be just like this. If you look at a tree, if I drew a tree just like this, from branch to branch, and that's, don't forget the center line, the staircase, don't forget that. I could draw a tree just like this right here, a center line, and guess what? As a tree grows, the center point is the shortest. This was growing out. Everything down here at the bottom is going to be bigger, and it's going to slowly go in at the top. It's that simple. This is the process of Nate, and it turns in 90-degree 45, especially weed. If you get into that type of studying that, it's exactly what I got drawn out. So therefore, you can look all throughout nature. These are just a couple of examples that I'm showing you, just that you can't debunk, where you would see the science of what I'm showing you actually there. With Marco wrote in 0 through 9, as far as the circle itself, you ain't gonna find that in there. If I just erase my numbers, you will see the essence of my work throughout nature. You'll find that circle everywhere. That's where I give him that. I love his work, man. I do. I'm not denoting that. That's why at least I mentioned his work. Excuse me. There's people out here who I don't agree with how they roll like that, using Marco Rodin's symbol and stuff like that, but they act, they never mention the man's name, and I don't like stuff like that, man. And then people be wanting me to do shows with these people and things like that. It's not anything really personal again. It's slightly personal because I just don't agree with that move. Because I wouldn't want nobody doing my shit like that. If you're gonna use my shit, you're gonna shout me out, and you're going to, go through the process to leak, especially even on my end, because I got my shit set up legal. You're gonna go through the legal process. Unless I'm just cool with you and I don't mind, and I give you permission, I don't mind like that. That's a whole nother story. I give you consent. That's something else. But I just can't rock with people. It's people out here working hard with what they do, bro. You know, being the first individual to sit and actually, while somebody else sitting up eating hot Cheetos, sitting on their ass, doing nothing to provide for the world, just because I discovered something, or the next person might discover something, and then people think that knowledge is just free. No, actually, it wouldn't be because really, honestly, I could have kept this to myself and nobody ever would have known it. But would it have benefited anybody? No. But people think that just because you don't, or you do what you do and stuff like you owe them or something, but you don't. If you ain't putting in the work on it, then you can't. You ain't got no say so on what should be or what should not be with something. And furthermore, you can own out and own knowledge, man. You can. I don't care what anybody says. It's all about people actually, um, the people actually supporting that. But people don't want to support that because they want to have their incorporation. They want to feel like it's theirs. But you ain't do it. You didn't discover. You wouldn't know it if you didn't. If you didn't have this man alive to do the work, literally the earth would not know this if it wasn't for me. That's not bragging. That's just a fact. Tell me I'm lying. Literally, tell me I'm lying. Disprove me. Find on the internet who then decrypted the Nazca lines like I have to where it's on point, literally with 70. I mean, all of this stuff to the nitty and gritty, to every 45 degree, because the whole geoglyph is at 45 degrees. That's one thing. That's the first thing I said about it when I first saw it. Before I got into any real knowledge of it, I just looked at it and said, "Damn, everything at 45 degrees." I was so that's what made me jump into it because I got that communication and picked up on that. Every square is relative to the next square at 45 degrees, man. So so it's you can own knowledge. The fact that does who created the Mona Lisa? Does he own that? Is he the creator of that? Do you own your child if you create that child? You don't own them necessarily. You ain't got I ain't even talking about ownership like that. But you know that you are responsible for taking care of your child if you have one up to a certain age to where they can take care of themselves. We're talking about creations that can't take care of themselves. Therefore, you are the owner. If you created something, damn it, you own it. What you think of somebody just roll up in this house and I done created 45 degrees, all of this stuff, all of this art? You think that going by other people's logic of saying, nobody can own knowledge and stuff like that. You think that if somebody just took my papers and everything that I've been working on and they did that they got the right to do that? You would be cool with that in that case if you go by your logic, huh? Wouldn't y'all? Exactly. It ain't cool. You can't just do that. It don't work like that at all. You can own knowledge because if I wasn't here, if think about it like this. This is a drawing. Without me drawing this on paper, it wouldn't be here and known. This is something that can't be explained. You have to draw this out for it to be comprehended. You literally got to. That's why you see Nazca lines. It's drawing out. Therefore, you can't get around it, man. At the end of the day, the Mona Lisa is a form of art, and art is something that you can own. So if somebody want to say you can't own knowledge, which ain't a fact, you can own art, can't you? Yes, you can. You can't tell me that you can't. They got stuff locked up, and people literally try to steal art out of museums and galleries. You got art thieves because they know how much this shit is worth. They do that to get what ownership of it, so that they could sell it or whatever it is that they potentially got in their mind. So therefore, if you can own art, and this is a piece of art that I've been constructing and laying out, all of this work that I've been doing, this is a piece of art. Therefore, I do by default own this knowledge. Now, I don't know about no other knowledge in the world, but this right here, nobody on earth could tell me that I don't own this. You can't. You literally can't, especially once I get this pyramids built. And I ain't just been talking on that, man. Y'all got to realize how bright and brilliant of an idea that freaking is. So once these pyramids start to get built and stuff like that, it's set in stone. This is something that's going to be known forever. Forever. It's just as long as those pyramids, just like the ones in Egypt. That's why I've been saying I'm going to be the architect of the next pyramids to be built here in the United States because we got mounds everywhere on the land. But where is the stone, set in stone pyramids? I don't see any. But that's why I'm going to be the first. And that's why you see stuff going on in the sky, because if words is so powerful, I'm the only person on earth while everybody else saying that we can't do it. I got belief, not just belief. I got knowledge, gnosis, and I got heart to know that we can do it. That's why you see stuff happening in the sky that PR Corey ain't got no control over. I can't control this stuff going on in the sky, y'all. I'm not just bragging on that, because see, when I was saying it at first, a lot of people probably felt like I was bragging. It started off before the conjunction ever even happened. I was saying something about the symbols of 4 and 5 looking exactly like Jupiter and Saturn. It started off with that. That was going on about a month or two before the conjunction even happened. I was talking about that. People was asking questions like, what does the conjunction mean to you? Different things like that. Everybody giving different answers. I said under somebody's comment section, I said, look, if I really told people what I feel like the conjunction really means, people would think I'm being self-centered. So I'm just not going to say anything. Comment got a couple of likes. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I meant. Lo and behold, Jupiter and Saturn, I didn't even look into, because I'm not as studious on planets and stuff like that, stuff that I can't touch and see. And this is science that they can't even. So I ain't never been into that's why I've never been into astronomy super heavy like that, because I can't touch and physically work with none of that stuff. I can't shift it around, experiment, do nothing with it. That's literally in God's control. And that's why this is so amazing, because can't none of us control that. Unless you want to go into some, metaphysics, and talk about what they doing. But I'm talking about what we witnessing and what we can see. Can't nobody control that sky, man. So when you take the Earth out of here, like I had showed, you end up with Mercury being the first planet, or 1. Sun would be what emits the degrees, or the circle, like I just showed y'all. The circle, 0, the degrees. So circle would be 0, would be the sun. Mercury would be 1. Venus would be 2, Mars would be 3, Jupiter would be 4, and it goes on from there. It's common sense. It's simple and easy to come. Even Saturn, I said which one would be associated with Saturn out of the numbers 4 and 5. Well, you know that the 5-pointed or 5 dice, even people in the past I could shout out have shown how the 5 dice is linked with Saturn, 5 linked with Saturn, fire, stuff like that. So it lands on Saturn being number 5. It could have been switched. So that's another thing. And then it goes on to the point, that happened with the signs and seeing the symbols looking exactly like them. And then from that point, I realized they both in the center, just like the numbers 4 and 5. Touching is in the center at all times. Huh. Okay. If that wasn't enough, it's like God just came back. You got 4 and 5. Well, what about the and? What about the decimal point? Here we go. January the 9th, January the 10th, God comes back. Whatever controls the sky comes back with another alignment. And as Jupiter and Saturn move on a 3-planet conjunction, what's the smallest planet? And if you were going to take any planet out of the lineup, and they look, you already know that they question on Pluto, so I'm not, that Pluto ain't the answer. Out of any planet, though, what would you do if you was God with this question right here? How would you answer it? And I don't expect nobody to answer this for real. I'm just saying you can answer it to yourselves like you've been doing this whole video. But if you was God and you took the planets and you was communicating to one being who had figured out something that you had laid out that was so important, and you was the first person in history, and let's say you was God and everybody, you witnessing this person that's here on earth. I'm talking about myself being this person, and you watching this person here on earth and they struggling. The people that's here on earth being sorry and they half-ass supporting them. Stuff ain't, people ain't amping up or as happy about his shit even as they would be with somebody else. And you as God see him going through it, and he feeling himself like, damn, man, is it this shit merely pointless? You literally talking to God, and then next thing, God have a celebration in the sky to show you that you're doing right. Jupiter and Saturn is one thing. It's like God did the Jupiter and Saturn thing. Everybody knew about that. You could have known about that from years on in. What I'm showing y'all is that even my birth, everything, My existence is showing and proving people that everything is planned. Everything is planned and orchestrated. You at where you at for a reason. You are who you are for a reason. Everything is planned. My existence, me being the one to discover this, all of this stuff, Quartz, Corey, all of this stuff, core eye, center eye, the only person who's seeing the real truth right now. This was all planned by a higher power. That's as well why I'm getting that information, because a lot of y'all is so egotistical and caught up in y'allselves. Y'all can't even see, and you ain't even got no relationship that heavy to where it's a higher power beyond you. You just don't know the name, but you damn sure is ignorant for even thinking that you are God. And I'm just letting y'all know that you are not God, bro. You can't control that sky. You can't. Literally. So if I can be that proof and show people that it's something existing beyond it, I'm glad that I can. And I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm not playing. So if you was God and you was in the sky and you was going to show to somebody, this young man on the ground working so hard, everybody treating him unfairly, and every person that he come in contact with on the internet acting silly down there, Mercury is the smallest planet, which would symbolize what at a 4.5. Mercury would look just like a point in between the two biggest planets. Come on, it ain't hard to comprehend. Jupiter being one of the biggest, Saturn being the biggest, whichever one the second smallest out of all of them. And then God comes back about with an alignment that people wasn't even talking about. Nobody was talking about Mercury, but everybody was just talking about how they was feeling this energy and stuff with Jupiter and Saturn. The alignments, if apparently wasn't even over. Because here comes Mercury, the smallest point, the smallest planet, aka merges with the two of them, 4 and 5, Jupiter and Saturn, the smallest point. Come on now, you can't get around that, bro. 4.5, period. 4 and 5. It's literally a and you can't get around that, man. I mean, it's common sense. I know it's mind blowing. I know it's been redundant of me even bringing it up, but I'm going to do it for the rest of my life, literally, bro. And I'm going to create art that's centered around it, because the shit was so in sync, so on point, to where it's something that deserves to be remembered for history, man. And if I make it, that's something that people going to realize and know, because that's proof that it's something beyond. And it shouldn't really take that or take me to say that or voice that point. But that's mere proof, man. You can't get around that. That's some stuff that I can't control. And then as well, I wanted to point out before I go, let me go to the internet real quick, because I'm gonna point out what was I about to do? Damn, excuse me, man. Man, what's I about to do? Golly, I was about to pull up something. Dang. Trying to scroll through and see if something gonna remind me to trigger something. Trigger a memory. Yeah. And then the thing is, well, I mean, it's not that ain't what I was thinking. But see, I just said that about the point. But the real point is, okay, fourth and fifth planet, like I said, with Jupiter and Saturn. But the real point is, look here, man. Mercury ain't just about it being the smallest planet. The smallest number is 1, besides 0, which is, technically nothing, but it's still a number, because without it, you would not have 360 degrees. You would have to have a circle, the decimal system. 0 is a number, period. But number 1 is the smallest number. Mercury is the smallest planet. Mercury is also the first planet. It ain't no way around it, bro. It ain't. It's no way around it. It's no way around it. It's like God, literally, the gods or whatever above, y'all can sit down here thinking, bro, that it ain't nothing in this world, bro, above a human, but you dumb, bro. I'm telling you, I promise for God, I'm not even like you dumb. If you thinking on that, I'm proof of it, man. I'm not sitting up here talking just to talk. It, that's what I was gonna pull up. Thank God. I just reminded myself. Uh what you call it. Now, if you went to not sacred geometry and stuff like that, let me pull up Jacob's ladder. Now, what is Jacob's ladder? That, like I showed y'all, I already showed y'all what Jacob's ladder quilt is, but what was Jacob's ladder and what is it in Freemasonic symbolism? It's a ladder that goes what? Up to heaven, right? A ladder that goes up to heaven. Literally. I showed y'all through my own work. I personified, well, not a person, but I symbolized the number 0 as one pillar and the number 9 as another pillar of the Masons, of the Freemasons, Jacqueline and Boaz, the two pillars. So at the end of the day, Jacob's ladder comes out to be 860 in Jewish gematria. It ain't just about that. It's about these connections that come down here. Like you see right here, sacred geometry is the first one that comes up with Jacob's ladder. That's Jacob's ladder. What the heck that got to do with sacred geometry? What PR Corey is showing. Because at the end of the day, what is a Jacob? Oh shit, I ain't even showing y'all. Let me dang, I ain't even showing. I ain't mean to even do that. Let me go back. Shout out to you, information man. I don't know if that's you still here, but shout out to you. Let me make sure that I switch this. Stop screen. Okay. Now, what you see right here, like I had typed in, I said I typed in Jacob's ladder. So Jacob's ladder is right there. Then you see sacred geometry is right here, which is one of the first things to pop up. Well, Jacob's ladder is a ladder. Let me pull it up real quick. Jacob's ladder, as you can see right here, it is a stair, not stair, a ladder, literally, that goes up into the heaven. Period. It's that simple. It can be a ladder or it could be this staircase. I ain't mean to do. Anyway, man. Yeah, like you see this staircase that's right here. So yeah, you can have a staircase, but as far as sacred geometry, Jacob's ladder, quilt. Jacob's ladder quilt pattern. This is what it looks like. This is my work, man. A Jacob's ladder quilt. This is what they named this pattern. Jacob's ladder. Ladder. That's literally my work, man. You can't tell me that it ain't. What's one thing that's off? Even the arrows is right there, like my chakra diagram. And I've never seen this stuff in my life. So you got literally 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they added 1. Their matrix is off by 1, but it's the same exact thing. The same thing, man. Period. So what I'm showing you, man, is at the end of the day, with Jacob's ladder, the quilt design, that's Bill Gates. It's something at the end of the day, what I've done is some type of communication, some type of magic. I would guess, man, that's communicated to something extremely special and a power beyond myself. you know, and nothing negative, because nothing but good intent is within my heart. So this right here, is just crazy within itself, man. You see, man, dang, bro, that's crazy. So yeah, man, Mercury is the smallest planet, the first planet, just like one is the smallest number, and four and five, Jupiter and Saturn is the fifth planets. Not hard to comprehend. And I just showed y'all with my work why it is what it is, and it's the truth. You can't get around it. So I have tried to debunk my own work in front of y'all, and as you can see, man, it's the truth, man. There's no way around it. So I hope that y'all, like this video and everything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. I know you did, because it's nothing I ain't even got to say I hope you did. I know you did, because this is something that's not out there at all. But yeah, man, I hope that y'all stay safe in these times, because it's really crazy out here. But I'm gonna end the video there, and I don't know when I will be back. But I'm always working on my stuff, and I should be back sometime soon. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here.